can't have empathy for someone like Charlie Kirk. First of all, Charlie Kirk don't believe in empathy. He said it's a bad thing. He said it's some new age made up shit. He also said people got to be sacrificed in order to protect guns. If he was saying that while fighting for reparations, I may have a little bit of empathy. But this white on white violence, he died? Damn, B. Life comes at you fast. I can't have empathy for someone like Charlie Kirk because I cannot be in his shoes. I have no frame of reference for that. I have no cognizance for that. There literally is nothing about his existence that I can relate to. So I don't have any empathy because I have no connectivity. I have more connectivity to someone who is a complete stranger that dies of a drug overdose than I do to someone like Charlie Kirk, because life is hard. And I understand that, because it takes very little for someone to end up committing themselves to an existence of numbness. I understand that. That man got murdered at 31 at a college event in the middle of a sentence talking about black gangs. What a way to go. Oh, Chanel. He was actually taken out by an old white man in one of the whitest, whitery, witty white states in existence. He didn't get murked in Watts now. They took him out in Utah. They said Lady Oleana. I want you to know it was us. Ain't no way it was a black man that took that man out. Not no Utah. And right as that bullet hit him, that man was in the middle of talking shit about gangs. White on white crime. These thugs, y'all. These thugs.
When Americans are angry, they turn to guns. Every single time. We've been trying to tell you that for years, for over 20 years, because children have been unalived in their places of learning over and over and over again by hurt individuals. So it has happened to CEOs of the worst corporations in this country. It has happened to our president. Now it's happened to Charlie Kirk. Now it's happened to a political figure, which tells us something important about our culture. The internet and media have made it so the political space has expanded drastically. And in light of this, so have feelings about and surrounding politics. They've expanded, they've grown, and they've gotten serious to the point where people are so distraught and angered by their political emotions that they have resorted to pew-pewing people. And I can't act like I don't understand that. I can't act as though that feeling and that result is not expected when the talking points of these social media figures have led to a culture based around hating individuals who look like me. We are seeing a drastic resurgence of marginalization and dehumanization taking commonplace in America. In our social institutions, places that we're supposed to feel safe are now politicized in a way that hurts brown, black, and LGBTQ communities. What do you expect to happen? Charlie Kirk has been one of the biggest vessels in communicating this hatred. And now we're seeing a symptom of a deeper problem manifesting in the violence that was perpetuated against him. People are angry and afraid, and they don't like the direction that this country is going. And they don't know what to do about it. Blame the root problem. Blame the fascist culture that is taking over this country, that is making every other country look at us like we are crazy. Are you seeing it now? Are you understanding that something is wrong?
Hey, black people, before you start, yes, Charlie Kirk got pew-pew. This is not our fight. They literally kill us for less. Do not get on here talking about, and no, just because you don't agree with somebody politically means that Stop it. Because I've already started seeing it. Stop. Let the white folks deal with that shit. It was a white-on-white crime. This is not our time to be black saviors to these motherfucking devils. Fuck. I've seen it 20 times. You get on my mother.
Well, it's official. Charlie Kirk is no longer with us. He has been sent downstairs. And, wow, what a day. I mean, let's just go through his greatest hits. One being that he said that unalivings due to pew-pew violence was justified because, anything is worth keeping the Second Amendment. I don't feel like that aged really, really well. I think the last thing that I remember him doing, because I had to talk about it, was him talking about how Taylor Swift should submit to Travis Kelce. Taylor Swift, a billionaire, should submit to Travis Kelce now that she's getting married and just be a wife, mother, and give up the singing career instead of putting her career first. What else? He got made fun of on South Park. I think that was the last thing in the media really about him. And I feel like, to be roasted on South Park, to be roasted up here, and then immediately get roasted down there. I mean, just, bad week for people with no lips. Thoughts and prayers, though. Thoughts and prayers.
So as many may know by now, Charlie Kirk, an outspoken conservative who was speaking at the University of Utah event today, was unalive. Most people know him from, he and Candace Owens used to team up for something called Turning Points USA, and they would say outrageous things. Outrageous if you don't agree with them. I am neither Republican nor Democrat, so I listen to everyone. I give everyone a chance. However, Charlie Kirk, literally his last words today, his very last words, I just watched a video, was demonizing black people and talking about gang violence. His very last word was, and they account for the gang violence. Then all of a sudden, boom, boom. I see a lot of people finding humor in this. I think it's sad that our politics have come to this. I do find it ironic though. No gangs, no blacks, just boom, smoked by a white man who probably had a legal gun.
Hey y'all, Charlie Kirk is dead. Holy shit. I know everyone's saying, oh, he got rushed to the hospital. I saw the video. He is dead. He is not coming back. Holy shit. I went on Twitter to see if because obviously it's Charlie Kirk, people are gonna be recording. I went on Twitter to see oh, what happened? Oh my God, does anyone have a video of how it happened? One, I'm advising you, do not watch the video. It is bad. I am a hardened internet user. I will be fine watching it. Y'all won't. Do not watch the video. But in the video, that was a sharp shot, clean bullet, exactly where it needed to go to kill him instantly. It went right there. You could see the bullet hole right there. That nigga bled out immediately. Charlie Kirk is gone. They're saying he's in a hospital right now, so if he does pull out of this, I'll eat my words. But watching that video, it seems as if they probably didn't have time to get him to the hospital. Cause it was instant. It was bad. He fell over immediately. Holy shit.
I don't want to say what I actually want to say about Charlie Kirk because I don't want to get banned off this app if I say how I really feel. So I'm going to speak black.
Satan came and picked up another one of his strongest soldiers because they done took Charlie Kirk, child. Now, according to Donald Trump's post, he stated that Charlie Kirk has passed. He didn't say passed. He said it in the worst way possible, quite literally. He goes on to say that no one understood the heart of the youth in the United States better than Charlie, which is also not true. He said he was loved and admired by all, especially me. Why do you have to be in somebody's death tribute, Donald? And now he's no longer with us. Melania and my sympathies, which is capitalized, go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you. The whole post is strange, okay? But let's talk about what we do know about this shooting. Now, according to CNN, the shooter is not yet in custody, so we actually have no idea who did this. We might know why they did it. Just Google Charlie Kirk. But we don't actually know who done it. Now, this was updated about 6 minutes ago from the time of this post. And again, the university said that despite
hold on, despite saying it earlier, the police had someone in custody. There is no one in custody. So again, we have no idea what's going on with this whole Charlie Kirk pew-pewing. But they most certainly wanted him out of here because the way they hit him directly was very calculated and very precise. But again, that's the only update that I have for right now. Just stay tuned and we'll be right back.
So Charlie Kirk was pronounced dead, right? Somebody just took Charlie Kirk's life. And I find it crazy how over the last few days, when speaking about that situation that took place in North Carolina, I believe, where the black man fatally stabbed the Ukrainian woman, and people have been calling for the black man's life to get taken, you spent the last few days talking disparagingly about black people, and your actual final words were gang violence or gang on gang violence when speaking about black people, right? And you were in the predominantly white town of Utah. You were in Utah, which ranks 34th in the U.S. for racial and ethnic diversity. And the person who took your life was none other than this man who resembles Larry David, gang. This is what I mean. Y'all spew this divisive rhetoric, and then it comes back to bite you in the ass. You feel me? It's nasty, bro. Condolences to his family. You feel me? Again, I don't call for anything to happen to anybody, regardless of how I feel about their political views. But when you put certain energy out, I believe in karma. Certain energy comes back. You feel me? Do y'all not get that? Do y'all not understand? I know a lot of y'all got a lot of bravado behind these screens, behind y'all computers and y'all phones. And y'all, you feel me? But you had everything to say about black people and gang violence and how you would look at a black person differently than you would look at a white person, right? You had all this to say about black people. And in the white town or city of Utah, an old white man was the one. Like, come on. Come on. It's crazy, man. I'm out of here.
I don't know much about Charlie Kirk outside of the fact that he's a conservative and that he was the person who was advocating for Derek Chauvin, the man who unalived George Floyd, to be pardoned. Well, today he was unalived at Utah Valley University, and I have several thoughts. Political violence is increasing because of the president and because people are tired of being oppressed. When the president signs executive orders to change the name of a department to the Department of War, he is encouraging violence. There was absolutely no reason for that besides him trying to fearmonger. So when the person who's supposed to be leading our country is encouraging violence and waging war on the American people, the people that he is responsible for, it is more than likely that we're going to see violence increase across the nation, especially when it comes to politics. Number two is that you see increased political violence when oppressed people are being further oppressed and they feel tired and hopeless. When someone feels hopeless, there's no limit to what they're going to do because they don't think they have anything to live for. And as we all know, hundreds of thousands of people are about to lose their health insurance because of the cuts to Medicaid. Hundreds of thousands of people are going to be without food because of the cuts to SNAP food stamps. There's a lot of reasons for people to have lost hope and feel like they have nothing left to lose. And my last thought is you shouldn't use people's unaliving, especially black people who were unalived at the hands of police, for your own political gain. So no, we don't hope he rests in peace. At all, because he did not hope the same for George Floyd.
It's crazy how Charlie Kirk's last words were calling black people thugs, and his last tweets actually were degrading black people and using every which way expression he can to basically degrade us. And he actually said that up until the 1940s, black people were lucky to be enslaved. I like to also note that he said that because we were enslaved, we were not able to commit crimes, which statistically white people are more likely to commit a crime than black people. But yeah, he also stated that, like I said, in the before the 1940s, that slavery put black people, what he could describe, at bay. I like to go ahead and say that this book, Black AF History, The Unwhitewashed Story of America, actually spoke about how without slaves and without black people being subservient to white people would not have been able to build America as it is today, because we literally invented everything. And I mean everything. Down to what invented rice crops in South Carolina. Yeah, you can thank the Gullah Geechee culture for that. There's a lot of things that you don't know that the history books have removed because of motherfuckers like Charlie Kirk. But he's looking up at us now. If you guys want to grab a book, grab it now, because I'm telling y'all, this revolution is starting.
I hate when somebody kicks the bucket and people try to hold others to a high moral standard that person never lived by. It's wrong to talk bad about Charlie Kirk like that. He just lost his life. What about his family? You know what else is wrong?
You will never live in a society when you have an armed citizenry and you won't have a single gun death. That is nonsense. It's drivel. But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year, so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights.
Meanwhile, there was just a school shooting in Colorado. Are those the casualties that he was okay with? He said he was cool with the casualties. So him being one of them shouldn't be a problem. That was a risk he said he was willing to take. He said he wanted to take the risk to protect all of his other God-given rights. And guess what? Fuck around and find out. And now he's clipped. We don't care.
This video's in regards to Charlie Kirk. And this video's for the liberals. It's war. We're coming for you.
So, internet, you know what to do. Find this person's information and report him to the FBI, because this sounds like a terroristic threat, respectfully. But yeah, so I was going through Twitter today, and they are legit having names of liberal and leftist creators, most of them being black, that they want to get rid of from this earth. And I am one of those names on said list, because I said I don't feel bad for Charlie Kirk passing away, because I'm not sitting here boo-hoo crying like everybody else is doing because Charlie Kirk passed. I don't care that he passed, but apparently I deserve to pass away because I didn't care that Charlie Kirk passed away. Yep, that's what's happening. I'm getting dozens of death threats in my DMs right now as we speak. Yep. So I just want to put this out there, right? And I'm not trying to put it out in the universe. This is just me making a little video so you guys can have it. If anything were to happen to me because of my political opinions, just know I'm not afraid to die. I'm 35 years old. I've lived long enough on this earth. I've seen the things I wanted to see. I've done the things I wanted to do. I married one of the hottest women in the world. I have 5 beautiful kids, made it out the projects, lived in my truth, openly pansexual, did all types of awesome things, accomplished all types of awesome things. My life is great. And if anyone ever were to be dumb enough to try to take me from this earth because of my political opinions, just know I do want my friends, family, and everybody in the knows to take out your entire family tree. And I want you to suffer. I'm very loved, and I know too many people. So if that's the route you want to go with me, just know that's the route they're gonna want to go with you and yours.
Being mad at black people for not caring that Charlie Kirk died is absolutely outrageous. Would y'all expect a Jewish person to care if a Nazi died? No. So why would y'all expect us to care if a Republican died? Especially a Republican that's a Trump supporter that vocally expresses hatred and dislike for black people. Can we please use our thinking caps? And quick question, did the Republicans care about Martin Luther King's, Malcolm X, and Fred Hampton's family when they killed him, assassinated them? No, they didn't. So why would I care about his family and friends? You get what I'm saying? And please don't get in my comments saying just because white people do it to us, they don't care when they kill us, that we supposed to care when they get killed. Fuck that. Like, why y'all always telling us to be the better person, or turn the other cheek, or don't stoop down to their level, or don't fight violence with violence? Not doing that is the exact reason why we're still in the predicament we are today.
My condolences to his family, but to be very clear, Charlie Kirk was not a hero nor a martyr. What happened was the effect of what he and this administration caused. Same as the assassination of the United Healthcare CEO. Both events were a desperate plea to the American government by the American citizens. And I also got to point out that there was ample amount of time between both events, meaning the American government and these corporation heads had ample amount of time to stop what took place today. All they had to do was do right by the American citizens. Instead, they decided to delete their LinkedIn profiles, remove their Facebooks, and double down on destabilizing American citizens. I occasionally ponder on what would possess the American government to think that they could continue to manipulate people, lie in their faces, play with their emotions, misappropriate tax dollars, take away our benefits in a country that proudly reminds the world of their Second Amendment right. Why? And ironically, this took place in Utah, not in LA, not in New York City, not in Chicago, not in ATL, not in any of those places that have National Guards deployed there currently. And the trigger wasn't pulled by a black person or a Hispanic Latino person or an Arab Muslim person or an Asian person. Allegedly, it was an elderly white man from Utah. An elderly white man from Utah who probably didn't think that he would be affected by everything that Charlie Kirk and this administration stands for. And if he's a single elderly white man on fixed income, y'all basically stripped him of everything that he has. So he basically had nothing else to live for. And I'm not at all saying that what that man did was right, all right? It doesn't make it right. However, our government could have avoided this. They could have taken what happened, the incident with the United Healthcare CEO, for what it was, a true warning, a warning from the American citizens that they were tired. Instead, this American government and these American corporation heads decided to continue playing in everybody's faces. Now, 2 little girls are fatherless. Okay, they're fatherless. And as they continue to grieve their father for the rest of their lives, people will always be there to remind them that their father said that gun deaths were unfortunately worth it in keeping the Second Amendment right. They will receive very little sympathy because their father unfortunately decided when he had every other choice, he decided to push forward harmful narratives. And now the very thing that he advocated for is what claimed his life. I saw the clip and it was gruesome. I even contemplated, putting it in this video, but I decided not to. And I pray that the family wasn't present when it took place, because I can imagine how traumatizing that is. However, what do you expect when you're playing with people's lives? You're playing with people's lives. What the fuck did y'all expect? Donald Trump was quick to announce the death of Charlie Kirk. Quick to talk on him. But I didn't see that same energy for the shooting that took place in Colorado. Another school shooting. It's just a small detail to show you where this administration, where the American government's priorities lie. And it's not with the American citizens, not at all. Not at all. If the American government doesn't take what just happened with Charlie Kirk as a clear indication that the American people are tired, they're fucking tired. I believe that more of this is going to take place, and I can't honestly tell you that I don't want it to. I can't tell you, because something got to give. Something's got to give.
Why are so many of y'all wrapped up in the idea of being the bigger person? What has that ever gotten you? Where has that ever put you besides up high on your moral high horse so you can wag your finger at everybody else? Y'all are scolding people for not grieving a man who literally openly, publicly said he did not believe in empathy, that he thought it was a made up new age term. That man didn't care about you, your neighbors, your family, your friends, your children. He said that your lives were the cost that you unfortunately just have to pay to have the Second Amendment. It is what it is. That is exactly how he saw you. Women are supposed to do nothing but bear children and submit to their husbands. Brown people are supposed to go back to where they came from. Queer folk are unnatural. Black folk are responsible for gang violence. He had nothing good to say about nobody. And he got on public platforms to spew this very hateful rhetoric that leads to the same type of violence that we saw today. And you are expecting people to mourn? I feel bad for his children. Children are always the victims of situations like this. They are brought into a world that they do not understand, with rules and hardship and all these things that just are outside of their grasp, and they're left reeling with loss and grief and no way to process it. It sucks. But no, when I think about the man and the things he said and the things he stood for, I'm not going to scold trans people or Arabic people or immigrants or anybody else for cheering when that man was openly cheering against them. And for you to think that that's something we should be doing, that we should be grieving this certain way so that we can look like we all have human empathy for other people. He didn't believe in empathy. He didn't even believe in you. They go low, so we go high. Okay, now we're up high and we still don't have gun control passed. And that's why everything happened today happened from him up to the other school shooting that happened today that didn't even crack the news cycle. All the people in this world who deserve our empathy, who believe in our empathy. And you want us to pick a bigot to prove a point? To who? To who?
He be saying some crazy, he be saying some crazy shit, right? Holy shit. What the fuck? Don't watch, okay, bet. He got assassinated. Shit. Alright, chat,
This Charlie Kirk shooting is revealing a lot about a lot of white leftists. And my pink bond is my business. Don't say nothing about it. This proves that a lot of the stuff y'all exposit on this app is still just theoretical. The monsters that you claim to hate politically, the people that you're telling people of color, marginalized groups, queer folks, disabled folks, all of these groups that you're claiming to stand with and stand in support of against oppressive groups and people, when bad stuff happens to that people, you fall back to that very white, very respectable game of niceties where suddenly we can't say bad things about bad people. Suddenly, the Nazis aren't Nazis, they're humans. We have to have empathy with the Nazis and fascists. And like, if you're someone who is discomfortable, like you are uncomfortable, you feel it in your body with talks around violence, that is fine. I am glad that you still have empathy intact. But your privilege is really showing when you are telling folks who actively have their rights at stake because of individuals and because of these policies that they have to be nice and calm and empathetic when somebody who is actively for years not cared about their humanities, their rights, or their safety gets hurt. Like, we can't even make a little jokey joke. Like, y'all are already out here so quick to want to like stand in the center. But like, if someone has a book you don't like, if someone engages in a piece of media you don't like, if someone messes up with one small detail in a video, suddenly they're fascists and Nazis and it's time to cancel. But the moment a fascist ironically has something happen to them, after being on record of supporting that thing that has happened to them because they thought it would happen to other people, and ironically saying that empathy is a disease and a new age woke disease, suddenly we have to hold hands. Suddenly we have to be the bigger person. Fuck that!
Somebody asked Charlie Kirk, hey, what do you think about gun violence and mass shootings? His response was, does that include gang violence as a way to try to flip it on black people? A second later, wow, they get him up out of here. That's poetic as hell. And that's exactly what his ass get. I don't want to hear no thoughts and prayers for Charlie Kirk and nobody deserves to die. I don't give a fuck. He deserves to die. Fuck him. Everybody that pushes the same bullshit as him deserves to die. I don't care. And I know somebody gonna say, well, you're not God. You're damn right. I'm not God. I'm a human. And I think the motherfuckers should all die. Get them all up out of here. And I think I'm about to go ahead and celebrate. Throw some on the grill. Maybe some ribs, some chicken, a burger or two. Yeah, fuck Charlie Kirk. And for it to happen in one of the whitest parts of America, Utah, when he be trying to say that black people are violent, and you probably got killed by another white person, you can't make it up. You cannot make it up. And that's exactly what his ass gets. Exactly what he gets.
People die from gun violence. It's tragic. But that's the price of freedom. Unfortunately, it's worth it to keep the Second Amendment. Those are words from Charlie Kirk, who unfortunately passed away today due to gun violence while preaching his support of guns and gun violence on a college campus. Now, I don't believe that it is right to ever murder someone because of their own political beliefs or opinions. However, Charlie Kirk once said, "I think empathy is a made-up new age term that does a lot of damage." He said this as a blunt dismissal of other people's views and cultures. He also said having an armed citizenry comes with a price, and that is a part of liberty. You're not going to get gun deaths to zero. It will not happen. And while preaching this quote, he linked gun deaths to toll driving, saying that there are more benefits to it than focusing on safety. Now, I don't care if you're left wing or right wing, we can all agree that this is hella ironic. It's hella ironic that Charlie Kirk died today from his own beliefs. I mean, the man said, but that's the price of freedom. He also said dying from gun violence is a part of liberty. How tragic and unfortunate this is for him and his family. He is now the price of freedom and a part of liberty.
Black people are allowed to talk about black culture in a way that white culture cannot. For example, black people can go up and say that there's a baby mama problem in black America, and white people are not allowed to say that. Oh, I just did, so what are you gonna do, cancel me? Black people are allowed to say, I'm a grown man, I got way too much to worry about. Black people are allowed to say that there is a systemic fraud issue within the PP loan application in black America. Black people are much easier to be able to say that black individuals, despite being 13% of the American population, commit 55% of the murders. Most white people say that at a job, they would get fired for being a racist. I don't care because I say whatever I want. So black individuals have much more intellectual public freedom than white people do. If a white person were to come up and say, you know, black America really needs to get its act together and stop sleeping around all the time, and it needs to actually have monopoly.
Why would you?
Because it's true. Because
why would you just walk up to someone and talk and attack their culture from the outside?
Well, hold on. Hold on. Let's look at the evidence. You said to myself, you said there's all these people suffering in Chicago. There's all these people that are terrible. I'm telling you why. It's because there's been bad decisions that have been institutionalized. Let me finish. And rap artists and athletes and people at the top level of black society that refuse to ever challenge the core rot in black America, which is that they are allowing degeneracy and hedonism to eat the soul of what once was a beautiful black culture, and instead they go around saying it's the boogeyman of racism, the white man is out to get you, and the result is black America is doing worse than it was in the 1960s. That is the contention, period.
It's not just that. It's a culture. It's so much deeper than the present day we are in. I don't know why you're pretending like it just doesn't matter.
What doesn't matter? You mean things that happen? Again, I've been through this multiple times. Let me just ask you one.
But you're not listening to understand. No, you're listening to reply.
No, I'm doing both actually. And so, but let me just ask one final question, right? Mm-hmm. Which is that you have your entire future ahead of you. Mm-hmm. When you are hired for a job, would you rather be hired because of your race or because of how qualified you are?
It doesn't boil down to just that.
That's what DEI is, man.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No,
it
it's
is
not.
definitionally the hiring of people.
They're not just going to immediately see.
You get extra points if you're black with DEI. That's how it works. Racial quotas elevate people based on the color of their skin.
So do you think I got extra points to come here?
I don't know. You said you were qualified, but affirmative action was institutionalized in Harvard and in Texas and a lot of other places. We know this. So I again, TU, we don't like them, right? So, but again, I just want to I want to just repeat this point. Where can I go to work that you can't?
It's not just that.
Exactly. There is nothing that is preventing black people from prospering. Nothing. The only thing is that you guys have been hypnotized to be victims of your own mind, to think as if there's a white person out to get you.